Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm Hani, founder of HaniElas.com, and today I am, just like every Wednesday, your instructor, and we're going to make citrus cookies using a really fun, easy watercolor technique. So first of all, I wanted to welcome everyone. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, okay. And I'm just gonna check in on the comment section. Hello, Heather, Chattanooga. Hi. Hi, Charlie, Angie, Byron. Thank you. Hi, Colleen. Hi, hello, Margaret. Hi, Kathy. Colleen is here as well. Hello. Hi, Sally. Wow, I can't believe you're tuning in. You'll be in Spain. You're heading to Spain tomorrow. Thank you for the photos. I'm loving them. Enjoy the Barcelona. Hello, Karen. Yes, you did. You are just on time. You're just starting. Hello, Monica. Hello, Linda. So everyone, thank you for being here today. And like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna be doing watercolor. I don't know if you tried any watercolor decorating techniques. Let me know in the comments. We're gonna be doing these citrus cookies. I decided to go with oranges and lemons. I'm really partial to lemons because we do have a lemon tree, and it is so fun to pick your own lemons. And last year, if you remember, I already shared a tutorial on how to make lemon cookies with the flour, and that was also during the live stream, I think. And there is a step-by-step tutorial on my blog, hanielas.com, so you can check it out there. And also, I believe it's on YouTube. Many moons ago, this is probably 12 years old, this image. So I made some sliced cookies, lemon sliced cookies. And I also made orange cookies. This was a project I did for YouTube, Shirley Temple, so orange slice. And I also was inspired by oranges, and I made these are orange creamsicle ice cream sandwiches. A really long name, but so I've dabbled in some citrus cookie making before, but I've never done watercolor citrus cookies. So this is a new one for me as well. Hello, Fabiola. Hello, Judy. I hope everyone is having a good week. We actually got a really intense storm just before the live stream, and I was worried how am I gonna come down because I have to go outside around the house to go to my studio. It was pouring down like really crazy, but it only lasted like 30 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. But I'm very grateful because we needed rain, so that's great. Yes, it's been a year since I made the lemon cookies. Yes, I know. How fast that just flew by, right? So let me just, okay. All right, so let's get to it. I'm gonna switch my screen. All right. And this is a really, like I said, very easy tutorial. Anyone can do it. I highly suggest that you wear gloves when using this technique. This is a technique that many of you probably have seen in other art forms. Like I've seen it actually on YouTube where they use cling wrap. What you are seeing here on the screen are these glass little bottles with a dropper. And I've got here Everclear or any kind of grain, strong alcohol, clear, without flavor, that I infused with food coloring. What I mean by infused, I let it sit. So I put food coloring, gel food coloring in a bottle or another bottle, and then I pour in the alcohol and I let it sit for several hours, and then I strain it. But you need to strain it through a really fine mesh sieve, or sometimes I will line the sieve, or I will put under the sieve paper towel or something that can really catch all the little particles, because a lot of the food colors, even the high-end food colors, they will have some gunk forming when they are mixed with alcohol. So you want to get rid of that. And these I've had for a year. So I have used them, but you really don't need a whole lot unless you are using watercolor technique frequently, then, you know, you can fill it up. But I don't think these are super tight. I don't think the seal is super tight because I feel like the alcohol slowly does evaporate. Anyway, so I did link these bottles or similar bottles in the description on YouTube. I don't know if it's showing up on Facebook. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, that's a yes, coffee filters. Yes. This is funny because I have coffee filters and I haven't thought of using it. Yes, coffee filter is probably better than paper towel. Yes, thank you. So I did link it up there. I'm going to grab it. The link is from Amazon. So if you make any purchases, oh, of course it didn't. It's not here. But anyway, it's on my YouTube channel in the description. I don't know if the description is showing now when we are live. That I'm not sure. But after the live, it will be there if you wanted to check it out, all the tools. And also links to the recipes that I was showing you earlier, like the Shirley Temple tutorial, slice cookies, royal icing recipe. All the recipes are listed in the description on YouTube. I don't think it's showing up on Facebook, but I think it will be available after we are done with the live streaming. So that's that. And let me, okay. Then I will be using a dropper, another dropper, because I will be using clear alcohol also. This is not lemon extract, although I love using McCormick's lemon extract for making luster dust paint in the very beginning of my journey. This is what I would use. Now I just use this to store my Everclear. And I have 2 droppers here. We're going to be using a dropper. You could also use a small spray bottle. But I find that depends on the spray bottle. This one, it's I feel like it's not the easiest to use. So I don't want to get alcohol everywhere. Like I don't want to spray it everywhere. So I'm not going to use it now because I've got my computer here. So you can also use that, but I will be using a dropper. And I also have my icing here, but that's for later. Now I think we can get started with, here. We're going to be using a food wrap. So I'm going to, or cling wrap. What do you call it? Is it a food wrap, cling wrap? What do you call it? I'm curious. I know this stuff tends to stick to everything. That's why I'm going to do you can do a double layer or 4 layer. This is a 4 layers, I think, yeah. So it's easy to handle. Now I'm not too worried it's not super smooth. Actually, it will be good that it's not too smooth. I'm gonna explain. You can also use Ziploc bag. Now with the Ziploc plastic wrap, you call saran wrap. Yes, that's the one that I never got used to saying, saran wrap. Plastic wrap sticks to every. Oh, hold on. Is saran wrap the one that acts like glue almost, or never mind. I have so many. Well, this is like the food wrap or plastic wrap, whatever you are calling it. You see, it comes in this like a box, and it's always pain to cut if you don't have a good cutting surface. So as I was saying, I also tried this with Ziploc bag. I trimmed the zip section and it does work. The only thing is the Ziploc bag, the surface is very smooth, okay? And so we're going to flip this over like this and apply it on a cookie. That way we'll create the watercolor kind of look. Now with a Ziploc bag, because it's so smooth and you are lifting it up, a lot of times if you add excess color on there, it starts to slide down and drip. So that was my only thing. And also this, because it's softer, it's not as rigid as a Ziploc bag, it can conform to the surface of the cookie a little bit. So for example, here are my cookies. I ice this section with white icing. This is fully dry. It needs to be dry for this to work. And then we're going to be placing it on top. And then you can kind of gently go around to make sure that you cover all the angles. With a Ziploc bag, it's not as easy to do. But it's a personal preference, and perhaps for another project, Ziploc bag will work better. Oh yeah, press and seal. That's like the glue. Yes. Press and seal glue like cling wrap. I like that. Oh, it's cling. Okay, so what am I so this is what is this? So this is food wrap, right? So you're thinking press and seal. Okay. There's so many different kinds. We call it, okay, this is interesting. We call it Glad Pack. Well, I don't know if I'm glad after using it, because oftentimes I'm so mad because it sticks to everything. Glad means happy in Swedish. Oh, and the one who named it, the plastic, must have been drunk. No one gets happy. Exactly, just when I... Oh, that is a funny story. Okay. I guess everybody is using this stuff, right? Do you guys have it home? I mean, I do use it quite frequently. All right. So the large one, it's going to be orange, and this one is going to be yellow. I'm going to get my gloves on because this stuff will dye your hands if you're not careful. Yeah, I mean, if you're careful, it's okay, but I don't want to risk it. We're performing a little surgery today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's do the yellow, the little lemon. So I know lemons are normally yellow, right? But we're going to go ahead and add some orange, just so we have a nice, interesting hue there. So I'm just picking up a little bit of this paint I made. And now I'm going to get my clear. This is clear alcohol. And if you have any comments, you can just pop them in the section. When I'm careful on, only my hands get stained. Yes. I mean, the thing is, wearing gloves, it's sometimes, it's a false security, because you think, oh, I'm wearing gloves, and then, but the food coloring will stick to the gloves, and then you're like, scratching your forehead, and you're leaving the house with a blue mark on your forehead. Okay, so now we have the clear alcohol, and I'm just adding a few drops here and there. You see how the color is spreading? It is a pain to use, but it does the job, right? I agree. So I'm just going to move it like this, and you see how it's getting kind of stuck in all these little channels. So I don't have to worry about it too much when I'm going to turn it over, that it's going to drip on me. So I'm just going to turn this over. And if there is excess, I mean, if you have that problem, there is excess, you just take a little, you here and there, you just pick it up with a paper towel. Let's see. I wonder if there is too much orange in there. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it this way. Maybe a little too much orange. No, that's okay. It'll be okay. It'll be orangey lemon. I left a few sections white. You could also come back, and let's see if we can do it. We can come back in this area and do a few more. That's how difficult that is. And now for the orange one, we're just gonna do orange, and here I have some pink one as well. I did try that. You can also do that, but with this particular design, because I have the edge here that needs to be decorated. You first of all, you need something soft underneath. So I did it like this. So I had some room to push it down. it ended up being everywhere. So I think it might work if you are doing watercolor on a whole cookie. That's probably possible, but for me, it didn't really work that well. And I'm gonna add some of this pink that I have here. And let's add. Sally, I don't know if you're still here, but I wonder, how do you get your stained hands clean? Because I have been using old-fashioned like a shaving cream, and it does work really well. See how it's gonna drip even from this a little bit, but from the clear Ziploc bag, it's even more, really. And you can reapply, obviously. You can reapply if there's a section that needs some love, you can reapply. This is gonna dry in a minute because it's very strong alcohol and it's not gonna sit on there forever. But if you're using water, it might start pitting your icing. Shampoo and toothpaste work for removing food color. Ooh, but toothpaste is so expensive. Shampoo, what kind of shampoo? Thank you, Judy. But this is really not my, like, I didn't really invent this. This has been done on paintings, actually. If you look up different artists on YouTube, they use this to create watercolor paintings. And it's really, really fun technique. Really is. It's so fun and really cool. Yes, shaving cream. I meant shaving cream. But whatever works. I mean, I think the bet is to wear the gloves, right? And then with this technique, it's ideal to protect your work surface. Here, I'm just using my plexiglass that I use for my transfers, just to make sure I don't get anything on my table here. And now I can take my gloves off. It's okay. Yes, butterflies would be fantastic. And it's so easy, right? And I like and also when you're doing the watercolor, this style, it is best to work with colors. Like, remember the color theory, you know? So you want to combine colors that when they are mixed together, they will create a nice color. So like I used, let's say here, no, not here, here. This was yellow and orange, right? So that's okay. But you could also use orange and pink. That will give you, or yellow and pink. That will give you like an orangey, like a peachy color. Or when you do pink and blue, you know, you will get purple and so on. Or maybe yellow and blue, that you will get green and, you know. Yes, I know. Amber does. She did something like this for Easter. If it's food color. Oh, really? Hydrogen peroxide gets out. I didn't know that. I might have to try it next time. I mean, usually, you know, the worst is when you get it under your nails, right? And you have to go somewhere. I have used this. Well, not this, there are several watercolor techniques you can use. This one with the food wrap, you have some control, but not too much, you know, like when you're using a brush, you have more control. I use that to create glass effect on, I wish I had a picture, for Easter cookies, where I used a paintbrush And then I actually created like a stained glass, like black outlines, which was really fun. I forgot to wear gloves when mixing and got coloring on my hands and had to serve at church with colored hands. Thank goodness everyone knows I make cookies and it was only food coloring. Yeah, I think it's in our head that people will be like staring, but usually people, I mean, everybody kind of I guess knows that. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, paint, yeah, it could be paint from painting the house, maybe. I don't know what other paint you have on your hands. People are usually not worried about us. That's what I'm trying to say. There is a question that is in Spanish, but I can. Hola, un abrazo fuerte. I'm not sure what you're saying, but thank you. So now I think this is fully dry. Let me see. It's almost there. Yeah. So we are good to go. So for this design, I decided to use sanding sugar because we don't use it enough and I love it. Although, sorry, I'm gonna correct. This is not sanding sugar, it's granulated sugar. I didn't want the crystals to be too big for this, so I'm using regular white granulated sugar. And I have it in a coffee filter, which you can use to strain your food coloring, so you don't have any bits of like gunk that forms when you mix too. Oh, she's sending me a hug. Oh, thank you. Sending you one hug and kiss too. So I'm gonna have this on hand here, and I'm gonna bring in my piping bag. So I've got 3 piping bags. And let's start with the orange. So I'm gonna use orange and white. So the orange one, it's a number 3 piping tip, and it's let me just pipe it on a piece of paper. Maybe this you will see. So you see, it's not spreading. It's like a piping consistency. And I'm not too worried about the perfect outline. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to squeeze out icing around this edge, outer edge. That's going to be orange, right? We want to make sure that the white section, the pith, it's not too wide. So I'm going to squeeze it out more, and it might appear even flat, which is okay because we're going to be dipping it in sanding sugar. What other languages do you speak? Well, I'm Slovak, so I speak Slovak, and then some Czech. Well, yeah, Czech I can speak and understand, and then I understand some Polish, but very little. I also studied French, but I absolutely don't speak any French because I don't use it. So it's been many years in high school. I love French though, and I am determined to learn Spanish. Hopefully, it's not that difficult. It's just finding the time, and I am running out of excuses. But I find learning a language, it's so rewarding. It really is. And you are kind of, you're giving your brain a workout, which is always good. I was born in Czechoslovakia. Right. I mean, it's former Czechoslovakia. Oh, you'll be in Spain soon. Teach me. I would love that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this step. If I can, my eyesight, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I can't see anything. So you see, I'm squeezing it quite a lot. This is number 3, and I'm just going around the edge. And if you need to stop at this point, you can stop. It's okay. We're gonna be dipping it in sanding sugar, so that's gonna smooth out any kind of imperfections. Okay, now I'm gonna come in quickly with my white icing, and this is number 2, and we're gonna fill in this gap. and then we'll make the segments, and then we can dip it in that white granulated sugar. Oops, I got my mat there, and my elbow literally slipped. Now to make the segments, I'm just gonna come from here across. And now we're gonna turn it over. I'm gonna basically dip it in sanding sugar. I keep saying sanding sugar. I mean granulated sugar, and I'm gonna give it a little shake. Shake it. Okay. Now we're going to, let's see. I see some gaps here and there, so I'm just gonna press it with my scribe. It's okay, because when you're pushing it into the sanding sugar, it spreads a little bit. So I'm just going to adjust the edge a little bit, and that's it. Very easy to do, very forgiving. And to remove any excess sugar, you can use your decorating bottle, and there it is. We have another one. Oh, let's do the lemon. Thank you, Heather. Do you guys speak any languages? Oh, it's so different when, yeah, my day is also ending. We are in the same, are we in the same, what time is it, Sally? Is it 7:30? I'm curious if it's 7:30, because funny thing happened. Last month, we went to Portugal, and we got to Portugal, and we were looking like, when is the sunset? And the sunset was earlier than the sunset here. I'm like, how is that possible? That's not possible. Like, how is that? And then we ended up like, we finally, after I don't know how many minutes, or I mean, maybe it was like half an hour, figure out, oh, we are 1 hour behind. So that was like, wow. So I wonder what is the time zone for you? So it's the same. Okay, she's saying it. Okay, thank you, Leo, for translation. Or is it Leo? Leo. English barely. As long as you can communicate, we could all speak the same language and still we don't communicate well. So I think that's probably the problem. We could speak 10 languages, and if we don't communicate well, then it doesn't really matter how many languages you speak, as long as we communicate. So now I'm gonna switch my piping bags. I'm gonna use yellow. And again, this is number 3 piping tip, number 3 piping tip. Oh, and cookie decorating is universal. That's true. You could also do this with tipless piping bags. I've done that. Actually, I find that for myself, I find that easier. All right, now we're gonna dip it in granulated sugar. And again, if you see any gaps here and there, like I said, it does spread a little bit. That's why it's ideal when you're doing the dipping, like I did now. If you're not sprinkling it on, it's ideal to use icing that is like piping consistency around there. If you're using icing that is too runny, it's really going to get squished. Should we do this one as well? Maybe we can do Sweden. It's 7:30. I speak Swedish and English, and you understand some Spanish. That's fantastic. Instead of doing a fine outline of yellow and then the white, could you do a wider outline and just do the white wet on wet? Oh, you mean, oh, I see. I see. You mean doing the, oh, I see. You mean doing the border, basically the peel or the skin, I should say, the skin, do the whole thing orange, and then, yes, you could do that, but then dipping it in sanding sugar when it's flat around the edge, if you don't overfill it, that will work. If there is like overfill, it tends to like slowly, like, slide off. So that's the only thing. I haven't tried it that way though. So let me know if you try it, Karen. Thank you for the idea. I speak polite in a feeling with the merci. Okay, danke, gracias, grazie, arigato. Oh, what's arigato? Arigato, it's, oh yeah, it's arigato Japanese. In Portugal, it's obrigado. Oh, good Lord, I can't remember now. Obrigada? Someone from Portugal on the call? I speak, okay, what's that? Thank you. Oh, thank you in Slovak, it's ďakujem. Now I'm gonna say it again, ďakujem. Wow, look at Sally. Okay. I think you would, pick it up if you went there. That's amazing. Oh, so is it obrigada? I'm like going blank. Because right? Thank you, Sally. Yes, obrigada. Yes. Okay, I remembered one word. Thank you. All right. So now we're gonna continue with the second orange. You notice I'm going pretty close to the cookie. I don't normally advise it because your line is not perfect, but I wanted to have a thicker outline, and the number 4 was too thick. Bringing in the okay, are you going to? Oh yes, you did mention it. I forgot. You did mention it. So here you see at least. Okay, so now we have a good teaching element. So you see the icing hasn't fully dried, like the food color that we added. It hasn't fully evaporated. Alcohol hasn't fully evaporated, so it's sticking to the icing, which is not completely wrong. I kind of like it. It's like slices dipped in sugar. But this is what can happen. So if you add your alcohol, just give it like 30 minutes or so. We didn't have that much time. And I also wanted to, those of you who are new on the call, thank you for being here. And I want to remind you that my Domestica course is out and you guys can sign up for the course. Let me just grab the link. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry, your screen is freezing. Mine is all like, there's something is going on. It's very slow. Me too. I like that too. That it's like, it's random. It's like frozen. Thank you, Sally. Okay, let me, okay. All right, okay, that's out. And I also I wanted to share with you, oh, Darlene. Hello, Darlene, if you're watching replay. And all of you, if you're watching replay, let me know in the comment section. Darlene sent me this picture yesterday. She made baseball cookies based on one of my tutorials that she found on my blog, hanielas.com. And this is a tutorial I did many, many moons ago, but I did an upgrade, I think last year, where I didn't use an airbrush. So you can use brown petal dust or green petal dust to get nice dirt on your baseballs. Really, really great work, Darlene. Thank you for sending me the picture. And if any of you have made cookies inspired my tutorials, don't forget to send me your pictures as well. I would love to showcase them here in our weekly live stream. Hello, Christine. On my lunch hour, glad I caught you. Looking good so far. Yeah, we are. we are kind of finishing up. So today we made lemon slice and orange slice cookies. This was the starting point, and we used, or I used, I feel like we are doing this together, so I'm gonna use just plural. We used watercolor technique using food wrap to get this nice watercolor look on the cookies. And then we added skin and the pith with the icing, and then it was dipped in granulated sugar. Oh, this is a good question. To flavor these citrus cookies, better to flavor dough or the icing, or both. Now, the both, for me, I mean, you can do everything lemon. It's fine. I will not say no. I love lemon. For some people, it can be overpowering. It really depends, I think, on like, which one is better? Maybe which one is easier to do? I feel like the icing would be probably, for me, would be probably my preference, because the lemon makes it kind of like less sweet for me anyway. But I would probably add some lemon zest into the cookie dough. I do love the combination though, almond cookie and lemon icing. So I love that combination, but I don't know if two wouldn't be too overpowering. But yeah, I do agree with, I absolutely second that. No such thing as too much lemon. I do. Yeah, I don't know, Kathy. It really depends on the recipient. Because if you know someone who really loves citrus, then they probably won't mind if both are lemon. But if it's someone who does, or you could also control the amount of lemon juice you use in the royal icing. So it's just a subtle lemon flavor, and then cookie could be more lemony, or even you could do both, orange and lemon, orange zest in a cookie, and then lemon icing. I mean, for me, yeah. Oh, Heather, get to good. Oh, let's see, Heather, lemon cookies and lime icing. Nice. I haven't tried lime icing. Does the flavor come through? I have to try it. Do you use fresh lemon juice or some type of extract? Now, in my recipe for fresh lemon royal icing, I actually use freshly squeezed lemon juice that I strain. I've tried lemon extract, and it's very tasty. It's great if you use a high quality lemon extract, but just the freshly squeezed lemon juice, it just adds something special, especially for me. And I have used, and I believe it's listed on the blog, I have used it's a lemon juice from a jar, but it's a specific kind that I've used for about a year when we lived in the United States. But then, even though it was the best, I would recommend to use as a substitute for the freshly squeezed lemon juice. After a year, yeah, I stopped using it because I just really prefer a freshly squeezed one. But you can also use, if you have a high quality lemon extract, that also works. Or you could do combination. It's really up to you to create. You can kind of develop your own royal icing flavor that way when you play with different ratios of lemon juice and extracts. In my royal icing recipe, I like using lemon, the almond, and vanilla. Those three, they create like this magical flavor that I really like. I recently bought wow. Okay, I will have to talk to my husband. he's the green thumb. It's a small one that is in my house. I will talk to my mom. She has a small one, and it does produce lemons. We have a quite large lemon trees. They are 4 or 5 years old. They're almost close to their maturity. I think it's 6 years when they mature. And then they can bear up to, from what I've read, 800 pounds of lemons, which is crazy. But a lot of them, they fall. The small ones fall. The tree is so brilliant that it does know that how much it can actually produce, how many lemons it can produce to the full size. So it will kind of drop the ones and just to reserve some energy. I think that's why it does it, because sometimes we'll see a lot of small lemons, green lemons, just dropped. I buy a bag of where is it? Yes, I do that also. I do that also. Excellent. It really, to me, it doesn't really affect the texture, but it's recommended that it's trained, so you don't have any pulp in there, because that will clog up your piping bag. But I would highly, if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend just making a small batch. I do have a recipe on the blog for small batch of royal icing, and just add some lemon juice to it. Don't start with a whole batch, because if you hate it, then what are you going to do with it? So start with a small batch, and then you can see if you like it. Do you ever use emulsion for flavoring? Yes, absolutely. You can use them for icing. However, I save them for baking because they're water-based, and water-based emulsions, they don't. What happens in baking when you use alcohol-based flavorings, extracts, alcohol carries some of the flavor, right? So it evaporates in the baking. So with that, there is some loss of the flavor. I don't think it's like a huge loss, but it in some flavors it could be significant. Like I recently bought strawberry emulsion, and I made strawberry cookies. Oh my, like amazing. Amazing. So I personally save it for the baking, because I find that I'm able to create, like, bake with more flavor when I use the emulsions, because of that there is pretty much no loss of flavor, because they're water-based. But you can use them also in icing. Hubby is the gardener in our home too. I can kill mint with one. No, I don't believe that. No one can kill mint. I don't believe that. Mint is like, it's like yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's weed. It's almost, Please don't plant mint outside of your garden in ground, because in a couple of years you'll have everything minty. Yeah, I really, I'm not the best gardener because I always overlove things. I water them and everything, and then so now I got for my birthday. My friends gave me an orchid, and I was always thinking that orchid is the most difficult flower to have, and it's gonna be so terrible, and I'm gonna kill it, and I don't care for it much. I love looking at it, but I don't water it. I mean, not that I don't care. I love it, but I don't water it as much. I only water it maybe once in 2 to 3 weeks, and so far it's been great. That's a lot of lemonade. Yes, I do have a lot of. Well, I'm also making. Well, the limoncello doesn't really have lemon juice. It just has lemon peel. But once you added the sections on top of the cookie, it changed the total look of the watercoloring. They look great. It does change it. Yes, it's a different look. I mean, you could also do the whole thing watercolor, and just keep like you. What you could do, you could skip the white pith and do also white skin, and then do everything with the watercolor technique, and then you can come in with the white. Or you could also do segments, individual segments. There are so many different designs you could do with these. I tried putting cocoa, like you said, and it is delicious. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so glad it worked for you. Yes. Why would I sell it if I can eat? No, but I do make a lot of lemon curd. But anyway, I froze lemon curd and it changed texture, which I wasn't too happy about. So I was kind of like disappointed. So I'm gonna have to research if I can can it. I mean, it's lemon, so it should be fairly easy to can, like water bath or something like that, instead of freezing, because it really changed the texture and it wasn't as smooth, and also color kind of changed. It got darker, which was odd. So I also wanted to remind you or let you know that if you wanted to sign up, and the link is coming across to Aniela's Cookie Club on Patreon. I opened up the first year, that's the Cookie Club member. And one of the main benefits of this tier is that you get access to challenges and also my recipe and sneak peeks. We're going to be having monthly challenges in the Patreon group in a community tab. And I hope many of you can join in. This month's theme, it's a C. So anything C. I also created dedicated Pinterest board, which you can use to get your ideas going, and your designs can be based on this board. It's not mandatory, but I highly recommend it so we can see how we all perceive different designs. I think it's a good learning experience. And that's all in Patreon group. Let me just, if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. And I also save lemon zest. If you have a lot of lemons, it's good. I save lemon zest because I use it in everything, in salads and everything. And I also just released a new recipe on the blog, and this is not a cookie recipe, but this is a breakfast trail mix that I've been using in my yogurt, and it's fantastic. So if you wanted to check it out, there are 3 kind of secret ingredients. And the recipe is on the blog. Yes, I do freeze the zest. I'm looking into if I can dehydrate it, because I know you can buy dehydrated orange zest, and I think also lemon zest. So I do have. I think I could do that. So I'll see. C is for cookie. C as in look at that, or C as it's C as in oceans. C, yes. C as in I'm very inspired by everything water, waves, and sand. So it's C S E A. That's the theme. And all the details are in a group. I actually made the announcement about the challenges public, so anyone can see it. But unfortunately, Patreon right now doesn't allow non-paying members to have access to the community tab. So that's why I opened the first tier to those of you who wanted to perhaps join the challenges and communicate with other cookie enthusiasts in the group. And that first year, it's only $1, and you can explore or engage in the challenges, and also you get access to the recipe and sneak peeks and so on. All the details are in the group. Thank you guys for being here. Next week, I don't know what's on the agenda next week. I know Father's Day is coming up, so I missed the Father's Day, but perhaps next week will be, I don't know. Do you have any suggestions? I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes to see if you guys have any suggestions for next week for the live stream. 4th of July. Thank you, Sally. I took them off the screen, but maybe I can, let me just, I have more of them here. At first, I wasn't too keen on the sugar, but I have to say that I do like the look of the sugar on these. Let these dry completely before packaging. Sometimes when icing is dipped in sanding sugar or granulated sugar, it can take a little longer to kind of fully dry, so just give it some time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My pleasure to be here, and I will see you next week. 4th of July and how to decorate. That is the most difficult thing. Is it the 4th of July? We can do something really simple. It doesn't have to be too complicated. You guys have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.